Okay, in this example, we are going to go through the 115 real world problems with ratios assignment number 2. Now, I'm just going to go over problems 1 and 2. These are the ones that we cover in class. We're going to draw models, comparison models. We're going to draw write ratio statements to solve these problems. And this video will just cover the first two. You can try the second two on your own. All right, number 1. So this says Harry and Lincoln each sold pies to raise money for their football team. The ratio of the money Harry raised to the money Lincoln raised was 5-3. If the boys raised $960 altogether, then how much more money did Harry raise than Lincoln? So first of all, when you first read through it, just get a general sense of what the problem's about. It's about two boys that are raising money for a football team. That's what this is about. Now, the ratio of Harry's money to Lincoln's money is 5-3. So since it's in the order of Harry to Lincoln, then I'm going to write an H to L, or it's 5-3. So that's H to L, or Harry to Lincoln, if you want to write their full names. And it's 5-3. So that means Harry gets 5 parts and Lincoln gets 3 parts. Try to make sure that your parts are the same size. It will start to help today when we look at it. So the next sentence says, if the boys raised $960 all together, so that 960 is how much they both raised combined, then it says, how much more money did Harry raise than Lincoln? So read that carefully. It's asking how much more was Harry than Lincoln. Now, both Harry and Lincoln had at least 3 parts, but Harry has those extra 2. So that is what I'm going to be looking for. How much are those extra 2 units worth? Okay, how much more money did Harry raise than Lincoln? So my sentence would read something like Harry raised blank more dollars than Lincoln, right? And that's where you'll have to read carefully to make sure I'm not looking for how much Harry raised, I'm looking for how much more he raised than Lincoln. Now, starting our unit statements, our unit ratio statements, start with what's given, and that would be that $960. That $960 is equal to, and we did this yesterday, is equal to how many units? If you count them all up, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 8 total units there. So your first ratio statement, the one you want to write first, is the given, and that is that 8 units, all of the units, all 8, are worth 960. Then, once you have that, you can try to find what 1 is worth. What is 1 unit worth? We can get from 8 to 1 by dividing by 8, so we're going to do 960 divided by 8. 960 divided by 8, when you do that on a calculator, will come out to 120, which means that each box is worth $120. And you can fill those in now if you'd like to. You don't have to fill in the 120s into every single box, but it's important to know that's what's going on, especially now, because now when you look, and I'm looking for how much more money Harry made than Lincoln, I don't actually have to find Harry's total value and subtract it from Lincoln's total value. I could do that. I could do 120 times 5 for Harry and 120 times 3 for Lincoln, and then subtract. But if your model's really good and drawn well, you can see that Harry just has 2 extra units. So really, I just need to figure out, well, what's 2 units worth? So I'll just double that 120 to get 240, which is a lot less steps than finding how much Harry had, finding how much Lincoln had, and then subtracting. If you did those steps, you'd get the same answer of 240. It just takes a lot longer. Instead of looking at your model and realizing, oh, Harry has 2 extra units than Lincoln, so how much are those 2 extra units worth? If each one's worth 120, then 2 of them are worth 240. Number 2. This is about Alan, Gil, and Deb. It says Alan, Gil, and Deb's point score in a video game is in the ratio 2 to 5 to 3. If Gil scored 3,600 more points than Alan, then how many points did they score in all? So I know it's about a video game. It's asking me to figure out how many points total they had. So let's go back and read it again. So Alan, Gil, and Deb are 3 people. Alan, Gil, Deb. It's in the ratio 2 to 5 to 3 in that order. So that means Alan will get that 2. Gil, well, I'll do a comparison model. Alan, Gil to Deb. Alan's going to get the 2 units. Gil's going to get the 5 units because it's in that order. And Deb's going to get the 3 units. Now really, again, try to make it so that those boxes are all the same amount, because now you can see Gil is 3 more boxes than Alan, or Gil is 2 more boxes than Deb. Because on the next sentence it says Gil scored 3,600 more points than Alan. So if I just look at Gil and Alan together and ignore Deb, just look at the Gil and Alan bars, and it's saying that Gil scored that many more points than Alan. So that would mean, like, here's where they line up. Like, Alan has 2 units and Gil has those 2 units, but then Gil has 3 extra units, and those 3 extra units are what that 3,600 points, or where it goes, right? And then it says how many points did they score in all. So I'm not looking for their individual amounts, I'm just looking for the total. How many total points did everybody score? And my sentence would say something along the lines of they scored blank points in all, or Alan, Gil, and Deb scored blank points in all, or something along those lines. Okay? That is all the information the problem gave me. You're going to have to read carefully to realize that that 3,600 is not Gil's amount. It's those extra 3 units past Alan's amount. And then that's our given. So when we go to write our unit statements, we're going to start with that 3,600 is equivalent to those 1, 2, 3 units. Okay? Those extra 3 units Gil has past Alan's amount are worth 3,600. Then, as always, figure out what 1 unit is worth. Since I have 3 units, I'm dividing by 3 to get down to 1 unit. And when you divide 3,600 by 3, you get 1,200 in all of those boxes. Now we're ready to find what we're looking for. So, to find what we're looking for, again, we're looking for the total. Now, I could do 1,200 times 2 for Alan, and 1,200 times 5 for Gil, and 1,200 times 3 for Deb, and then add everybody's individual scores up. But that's a lot of work. Since I'm just looking for the total, I can ask myself how many total units are here. So I'm going to count up the units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 total units. And then I'll just do the times 10 in order to get that. So 1,200 times 10 is going to give me 12,000 total points. That's how much points they all scored together.